Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about Locust Bean Gum, what it is and how you use it in ice cream. So let's see how that stands up against other stabilizers we've talked about so far. So this is a Locust Bean Tree. Locust Bean Gum, which is also known as carob gum, is derived from the seeds of the actual beans come from the tree themselves. And what happens is the bean pods are removed, they're dried, the actual seeds inside are then taken out, roasted and powdered down into a white powder, much like all the other stabilizers we talk about on here. Like Guar Gum, Locust Bean Gum is also a type of soluble fiber. It's used as a thickening agent and a stabilizer in lots of foods and especially ice cream. Using Locust Bean Gum in ice cream helps to create a smoother, creamier texture and also prevents ice crystal buildup. So with the ice crystal buildup, you find that it will do that in your freezer naturally. So most frost-free freezers these days, that's difficult to say, has a freeze-thaw cycle that stops frost building up inside the freezer. It's actually really bad for your ice cream because the thawing and then refreezing enlarges your ice crystal size. So good ice cream has lots of tiny little ice crystals throughout, and they're so small that your tongue can't pick them out and gives you a nice creamy texture. Bad ice cream has lots of huge ice crystals in, and you can taste them, and when you bite down into it you can feel it on your tongue and in your teeth as well. It's believed that by controlling the free water in your ice cream base, the increased viscosity and shearing movement of the churning process combined with the stabilizers added enables churned ice cream with stabilizers to hold on to those small crystals for much longer. Locust Bean Gum is an excellent stabilizer, but it has poor gelling abilities, and that's actually a good thing when using it on its own. So gelling abilities of some stabilizers is something you may or may not want in your ice cream depending on what it is you're making and the types of flavor and ingredients. Locust Bean Gum does need to be fully hydrated between 75 and 85 degrees C, and that's something you might not want to do for your ice cream base. Locust Bean Gum is also commonly used with Guar Gum and carrageenans. That is our next video, by the way, carrageenans. But now we're going to talk about whether Locust Bean Gum is good or bad for you. Generally, as with all these stabilizers that we're talking about, everything is completely safe, but I can't talk as to whether you personally will have a reaction to a type of food. So it's something to be aware of. If for some reason you find that it doesn't agree with you, then stop using it, as simple as that. There are lots of other stabilizers you can use. There's also very little functional evidence against these stabilizers. So don't let other content creators scare you, and their scaremongering also now is leading on to vegetables, where a lot of them believe vegetables are bad for you. So if that's the kind of mentality you have, maybe avoid these. So you've decided that you want to use or try Locust Bean Gum in your ice cream. What I would do is start with your atypical normal amounts for a stabilizer, so 0.1% up to around 0.3%. 0.3 is quite a lot of stabilizer, but I wouldn't go any higher than that if you're going to use Locust Bean Gum on its own. Normally Locust Bean Gum, as I said before, is added to things like Guar Gum and carrageenans. So if you want to add it to Guar Gum, then I do a 60-40 ratio, 60% Guar Gum, 40% Locust Bean Gum. If you just use Locust Bean Gum on its own, it can weigh off, and that's when it's melting. So what weighing off is the liquid within your ice cream base will separate from the fats, and you'll get this clear liquid in the bottom of your bowl. And that is the whey coming off, and that's an effect from just using too much Locust Bean Gum. If you are getting weighing off when using Locust Bean Gum on its own, then add some Guar Gum to it to help stabilize that mixture. It's like a puzzle, ice cream and stabilizers. Once all the pieces are together, the result is just outshines all other store-bought ice cream. So when using ice cream stabilizers, make sure you add them to your sugar, stir it all really well together before adding it to your warming base or your cold base, depending on what stabilizer you're using, and then make sure that no clumping occurs. Well, that's all we've got for Locust Bean Gum today. Thank you very much for joining me as normal. As you can see behind, I'm still at Ghost Lake in Alberta. It's overcast today, but there is a seaplane on the water, so that's something you don't see every day. Next week, we're gonna talk about carrageenans. There's 3 different types, and they have 3 different times and places to use, so stick around if you want to know more about ice cream stabilizers and how to make ice cream, importantly. A couple of weeks away from getting the first ice cream make in our new house up and running, so thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.